Cannot tell. All right, looks like we're live on Twitter. So welcome to Gamcast for Sunday morning, I think it is, back in the States. Here today to talk about the Fifth Circuit's ruling that ballots that come in after Election Day may not be counted. Now, a lot of people are blowing this well out of proportion for a lot of reasons, and we're trying to bring you the truth here. As always, interpreting the news of the day through the lens of the law, the Constitution, and history. So here's a great follow on Twitter, George here at Behinsey Tweets. And he says that the Fifth Circuit just ruled that ballots must be received by Election Day, and any state law that allows them to be received and counted after Election Day violate federal law. This changes everything. Unfortunately, folks, that's not true. I wish it were true. Let's tell you what happened first and tell you why it actually is not going to make that big a difference. A little bit of a spoiler here. The reason it's not going to make that big a difference is the Fifth Circuit is one of 13 circuits and only controls the states of Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana. And those are all Republican states. So you're not going to see any changes in the ballot there. But if you look at the reaction on the left, it is a little bit of a shocker. Here's Slate, which is a left-wing site. 3 judges just issued a shock ruling that could wreak havoc on Election Day. Let's explain what happened. So a lot of states, most states I think that allow mail-in balloting, permit your ballot as long as it's postmarked by Election Day. It can be received up to 3 and 5 days. In the case of Mississippi, it was 5 days after the election and still counted. Now, a lot of people, myself included, believe that your ballot should arrive to be found and counted by Election Day. That's my personal belief. However, that is not the law of the land. In fact, if you go and you read the opinion of the lower court, which was appealed to the Fifth Circuit, you will see that the lower court judge, who was a George W. Bush appointee, by the way, finds Mississippi's statutory procedures for counting lawfully cast absentee ballots postmarked on or before Election Day and received no more than 5 business days after election is consistent with federal law. So he found that the law that Mississippi has is fine. Again, we're talking about Mississippi here, folks. We're not talking about New Jersey. We're not talking about New York or California. I mean, talking about Mississippi, a very red Republican state that allows those ballots to be counted. Now, on appeal, 3 Trump judges, you've got them Ho, Duncan, and Oldham here, they found that according to the Constitution and the laws of the federal government cannot write laws for your state elections, but it can write the law for the federal election, this is obviously a presidential election. It's obviously a federal election. Senators and Congress people would be included in that as well. They said that based on what they see as the Constitution and the law, that there is a day for elections. So according to them, the day for the election is only that day. So anything that you do after that day should not be counting. They basically struck the law down. They sent it back down to the court to have a ruling consistent with that. So let me tell you a couple of things, and then I'll wrap up the show. So first off, this is just one circuit, and the only Supreme Court can hold this to be the law of the land. I seriously doubt even the center, I consider our Supreme Court center left, but even if you think it's center right, I doubt they would find this as a ruling by a majority. I seriously doubt Roberts, Kavanaugh, or the last Trump appointee will agree with that. That being said, at this point, it's only going to control 3 states. And since it's a ruling from Mississippi, it really only applies to Mississippi law. So all the other states that have this law, even if this were to be upheld in their states, it would still be counting people that have gotten their ballots in postmarked by Election Day but come in after. So again, it's not as big a deal, but it is at least, not to be too negative, it's at least a step in the right direction that you got one court out there saying that you should be able to, if you want to vote by mail, it's a privilege. It means you need to get it there in time. But it's not as big a deal as some people are making it out to be, and I wanted you to be informed on that. So if you enjoyed this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. And if you do, you will see me on the next one.